What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm the right-winged angel, Oliver Mack, and in this video, we got to talk about reparations. That's right, reparations is always a hot topic, especially for woke black people who feels like this country owes them something for their ancestors going through slavery. Well, we have a committee in San Francisco that actually put a dollar amount on reparations. Get this, they want to give the black residents of San Francisco $5 million apiece. Let's check this out. All right, from the Daily Mail. San Francisco Reparations Committee proposes $5 million payout to every long-time black resident, debt forgiveness, and $97,000 guaranteed income that would cost the city $50 billion. Now, we're not talking about a state here. We're talking about a city. $50 billion. Guess what? Do you know what San Francisco's budget is? It's only $14 billion. So this is what? Quadruple, even more than that, the amount of the entire city budget they want to put on reparations. Let's read a little bit so you guys can see exactly how insane this proposal is. San Francisco's Reparations Committee will propose paying $5 million to each longtime black resident of the city in a reparations plan this spring. To qualify, people need to have identified as black on public record for at least 10 years or be at least 18 years old. I don't understand that. They had to. Who does that? I just recently decided to identify as black so I don't get reparations. These people are insane. It's unclear exactly how many people will qualify should the proposal pass. But if just 10,000 people qualified, it would cost at least $50 billion. Now, I don't know how many black people are in San Francisco. I can't imagine there's too many black people in San Francisco, which is probably why this proposal was even brought to the forefront. Because if you have, hundreds of thousands of black people, then I'm pretty sure no one, no city, no state, no country would probably want to pay for that. But you can virtue signal, which is exactly what they're doing. They're trying to get a little publicity for their city, which is basically being run into the gutter. You got homeless people running rampant, feces in the street, people out there stealing from stores like it's no tomorrow, and they want to focus on reparations. They want to commit $50 billion to reparations when that money could be going to cleaning up the freaking city. The proposal will be submitted to Mayor London Breed at the San Francisco Board of Supervisors and the San Francisco Human Rights Commission in June. Board President Aaron Paskin told the San Francisco Chronicle he hopes the proposal will pass. Really? What business-minded or even sane person would think that this would even be a possibility is my question. They were unveiled weeks after the chair of California's Reparations Task Force claimed the state's black residents were owed $1 million each. Now, I want to show you something. So this is not even reparations for slavery. This is reparations for some racist laws that were on the books a long time ago that they feel like disproportionately affected black people. And of course, there were some laws back in the day that did target black people. I'm not going to sit here and say that our country was perfect, that there was never any racism, never any white supremacy, because there was. But we moved past that. We've grown as a country. We've grown as a nation. Our morality has grown. There's different things that we used to do that we view as disgusting today because we grew up as a nation. We became more unified. We looked at things in a different way to see the error of our ways. Now, does the country owe us any money for that? I don't think so. I think that the opportunities and the advantages that we receive today are enough for us because there's a lot of black people that have taking what they've been given. Even back then, even in the 40s and 50s when you had racism, you still had a lot of people that were able to pull themselves out of that and make something of themselves and also build generational wealth. But we have a lot of people who have just been, the downtrodden mentality, and it continues to manifest itself from generation to generation. So they're not building anything. They want to complain about the past and things that happened in the past instead of moving forward and trying to look to the future and trying to find a way to get their family out of poverty and build generational wealth. If you ask me, the thing that could benefit black people the most is having programs out there to teach people how to save money, to teach people how to properly raise a family and build a nest egg. All that stuff could be taught to black people, even if it's by white people. I don't care who it is. But if we focus on teaching them how to maintain themselves and take care of themselves and build prosperity and generational wealth, I think that would do more than any reparations could ever do for black community. All right. The $5 million payment to qualifying San Francisco residents is just the beginning of the draft proposal. We already read it in the beginning. It talks about a lump sum payment would compensate the affected population for decades of harms that they have experienced and will redress the economic and opportunity losses that black San Franciscans, I've never said that before in my life, so it sounds weird, have endured collectively as the result of both international decisions and unintended harms perpetuated by city policy. Okay, so it's not even talking about slavery because California didn't have slavery. So, let's see. There's something else I wanted. The proposal also says qualifying low-income households should have their income supplemented to match the city's median income. Now, this is just ridiculous. So no matter what you do, you could be working as, a cashier at Walmart. So now you're going to make $97,000 just because you're black. Unbelievable. You have white people out there that are making far less, and they're not sitting here complaining about it, not asking for handouts, but just based on your skin tone and based on the fact that your ancestors went through something. Now, there's a lot of black people a lot of white people whose ancestors went through something, who went through trials and tribulations a long time ago. They're not asking for reparations. They're not getting any leg up for what their ancestors went through. So why are we? I don't know, but I'm not for it. Racial disparities across all metrics had led to a significant racial wealth gap in the city of San Francisco, the draft states. And people want to act like all white people have money that they're passing down from generation to generation. So no matter what kind of screw ups they have, no matter what line of work they decide to go into, they're always going to be rich. That is 100% false. The money that you have is solely based on the decisions that you make and the opportunities that you take advantage of. Most of the time, it has nothing to do with how much money your parents had. Maybe they set standards for you based on what they did, and then you kind of fed off those standards and decided not to go below your parents. That's something that, I learned as a kid. When I was a kid, I decided, okay, I'm going to do better than my parents did. And I think there's a lot of kids out there, young adults that think about that. Okay, I just got to be better than my parents. So if your parents were, cashiers at Walmart, let's say, then being better than your cashier at Walmart parents is not going to be a lot, okay? So you're still probably going to be in poverty because you have inflation and things back in the day didn't cost as much as they do now. So being better than them working at Walmart is going to be a different situation than someone whose parents were a doctor, right? So if you want to be better than your doctor parents, then you're going to elevate yourself to a level that most people don't get to go. So it's really based on your upbringing and your parents, not about things that happened a long, long time ago. All right. The proposal also asks San Francisco issue a formal apology for past harms and commit to making substantial, ongoing, systematic, and programmatic investments in black communities to address historical harms. Well, what is that going to do? It's not going to do anything. Let me tell you something, guys. And I'm going to let Candace Owens speak on this because I think she knocks it out of the park when it comes to reparations. I feel like, just like she does, that reparations is a scam by white liberals to garner votes from the black community. We have a lot of white liberal politicians and also black liberals who are working for white liberal politicians or in the pockets of white liberal politicians who always talk about reparations. We need to do something about reparations. But what do they always say? They never say, yeah, we've already put this together and this is how much money we feel like black people are owed because of slavery and Jim Crow and past traumas that black people went through. I'm sorry, black people's ancestors went through. Now, there's some people alive today that went through Jim Crow, but not slavery. But anyway, so nobody has come up with a number. And I'm happy to see that at least this reparations committee in San Francisco has come up with a number and a proposal. It's crazy and ridiculous, but at least they did that. At least they put in the work. Most of these woke leftist politicians, Democrat politicians, have never come up with a number or even a way that it would get paid out or stipulations that you had to meet for it to get paid out. They never came up with any of that. All they say is, we're going to look into it. We're going to look into reparations. We're going to set up some kind of committee or we're going to do some kind of study on reparations. But has that study ever been done on a federal level? Nope, it has not. We've had Joe Biden in office since 2021. Has he set up any committee or studies on reparations? Nope, he has not. But guess what? He does not care because it's just a talking point to get black people's votes because reparations is always a hot topic for black people. There are millions of black people out there who feel like they are owed reparations. I would say the majority of the black community feels like they are owed reparations for slavery. I'm not one of them, but there are a lot of people out there that are. So when Democrats dangle this reparation carrots in front of them, it's going to get them to vote Democrat, continue to vote Democrat, because the Republicans are saying, no, we're not for reparations. We think we should move on from that. But Democrats are saying, well, those evil racist Republicans don't want you to have reparations, but we do, even though we're not going to do anything about it. We're just telling you we are. So I want you to watch this video because I think Candace Owens knocked it out of the park.
Well, first of all, I would like to say there are some points with y'all that I do agree with. The whole toxic masculinity, Me Too movement. I agree with you on that. But you said that in the 2018 tweet that America shouldn't give black people reparations.
Should or shouldn't?
Shouldn't.
No.
Okay.
Well, I actually didn't. I retweeted someone else. I think you're talking about DC Drano.
You didn't say it.
No, you said your stance on Twitter. You said on Twitter that you're
talking to me, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You said your
Sure.
solution for it is that America should just move forward.
Yeah.
But the UN actually said that
We're not the United Nations.
I'm just saying that they said that the U.S. owes us reparations, but and you said that.
When did I say the U.S. owes us reparations?
No, I'm saying that they said that. You
The
never
UN.
said that.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Sorry, I wasn't following. So the United Nations said in 2018,
No, 2016.
2016 that America owes us reparations.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And my question is, and you said that racism doesn't exist anymore. When did you?
I
She
never
did not
said
say
that.
that.
You
Oh,
read
she
you
did?
read an article.
No.
Nope. I said I was never a slave, and then the Root
Okay.
jumped into the front of what I said and said Candace says racism doesn't exist because she was never a slave. That was fake news. Racism does exist.
Well, I
America
hate
is not a racist
I hate
country.
the Root too. So.
Yeah.
So like, why don't you think we deserve reparations? I mean, you did get a check for a racist act back when you were in high school.
So first off, these are two different points. I do not think that we deserve reparations for slavery. I was never a slave in this country, and I think that the idea, if you think that you're going to get more than $200 from the government, okay, this entire debate is just it's a joke, okay? It's never going to happen. Do you think that we're the only group? I'm just going to ask you this question that has had something awful happen to them in this country. Should the Japanese get reparations for the internment camps?
Yes,
Should
they
the
do.
Irish,
Okay,
all the
there's
Irish? Who's
18
Irish in this room? Raise your hand. Should they get? Oh, that's a lot of Irish people. Should they get reparations for the Irish did not apply during the Progressive era and all the terrible things that happened to them? What about the Jewish people? Should they get reparations for the Holocaust?
Well, they did get reparations in Germany.
No, they didn't.
No, they didn't.
That is a myth, and that
Not
is
in
false.
America.
They did not get any reparations in America. So
I wasn't talking.
Okay, but here's my question: do you understand how slippery the slope is when you start saying reparations? At the beginning of humanity, the slave trade used to be legal. It used to be legal, and do you want to know?
That's facts. Sorry, I had to pause the video because when people talk about reparations, they act like the United States was doing something that was illegal, doing something that was outlawed everywhere else, and we were the only country doing this illegal, horrible act. Guess what? It was legal. There are a lot of things that we no longer do today that were legal back then. Should everybody who was involved in something that was legal back then that we no longer do today get reparations for it? There were people who were beheaded, public executions. Families had to go through the torture and torment of having public hangings, public executions in other countries. I don't know if they had it here, but they had where they would cut people's heads off in front of everybody. Do you understand what kind of trauma that would do to a family? So are those people owed reparations too? I don't think so.
Who got reparations? This is actually fascinating. I learned this from Larry Elder yesterday. In the UK, they decided to give reparations because of the slave trade when they abolished it. You know who they gave reparations to? The slave owners. Because black people were their property legally. It was legal, right? So when they got rid of it.
Yep, that's a fact. When you think about it, I mean, they are owed that. So if you purchase something that is no longer legal, say, I would want this if Joe Biden and the Democrats, God forbid, if they decided to outlaw AR-15s, right? Pay me for it, okay? I bought the gun. I paid my money for it. You're going to outlaw it. Okay, if you're going to take it, you're going to pay me for it. You're going to have to fight me for it, though. But if you really decide you're going to take it, you got to pay me for it. You're going to have to pay me a hefty penny for that. I'm going to make sure I drain them dry for taking my AR-15 if they decide to outlaw it. But if you purchase something and the government decided to outlaw it, then yeah, they owe you money for it.
They gave them
even if it's people, unfortunately.
Reparations. The point is that no matter where you go in history, someone was oppressed. You cannot look to correct history by thinking that you're going to get a small check, because every single person in this room would get a check. It's just a means for them to seize you emotionally and make you think that you deserve something or you're going to get something. And if they actually factually did it, it would probably amount to $400 that you couldn't even spend at a club on a weekend.
That's true. Well, we talked about San Francisco, what they're doing. That's why I said it's just virtue signaling. It's not going to amount to anything. They're not going to give the residents of the black residents of San Francisco $5 million each. It's going to cost $50 billion, and that's a rough estimate. And the city's budget is only $14 billion. You think that's going to happen? Of course not. So every time these Democrats talk about reparations, we know exactly what they're doing. They're dangling the carrot in front of black voters just to get them to vote Democrat.
Just telling you. That's what Elizabeth Warren wants to talk about.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Candace Owens. That was incredible. She's always on point. I didn't even know I wasn't even subscribed to Turning Point USA. Let me subscribe right now. So since I subscribed to Turning Point USA, y'all need to subscribe to Right Winged Angel right here on YouTube so you can get the best news and commentary out there. So thank you so much, Candace Owens. And yeah, reparations. What do you think about reparations? You watching this video, do you think that black people are owed reparations in this country? Do you think that the government should be actively trying to decide how to get reparations to black people in this country? And what black people are owed reparations? Do you have to trace your lineage back to a specific slave in order to get reparations? Are half black, half white people owed reparations because half of their ancestors actually owned the other half? So how does that work out? I would love for someone to actually put a proposal together, a federal proposal together, because I would have a hearty laugh at what they come up with. I really would. So please, Joe Biden and the Democrats, please put together a reparations proposal so I can look at it and I can make a video about it and talk about it, because it's going to be hilarious what they come up with. Because what San Francisco has come up with is hilarious. So I'm ready to have another laugh. So let's do it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please hit the like button, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. All right, I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.